The best camera phones have come a long way and they get better every year. Improvements in sensors, lens arrays, and AI powered enhancements now offer a huge amount of versatility, not only for photography but for video too. So much so that even professional photographers and videographers can now sometimes use the best camera phones for some of their work. So, here are the best camera smartphones to buy. Samsung's 2022 top end phone is a super powerful mobile, both in the camera department and in most aspects of its feature set. It has the same array of cameras as the S21 Ultra, the same massive pixel count and pixel binning for improved low light performance and 8K video recording. But it has a selection of new modes and upgraded specs to make it a better choice for photographers. Like its predecessor, the S22 Ultra has a massive 10x optical zoom and an incredible 100x digital zoom, but the quality is clearer for longer. The big addition to S22 Ultra when compared to the S21 is the S Pen stylus, great for note taking and sketching. But what does that have to do with photography? Well, you can also use the stylus as a remote shutter, which we found to be pretty handy for taking selfies or long exposures without having to set a timer. All in all, the S Ultra 22 is our top pick as best camera phone, especially if you prefer Android over Apple. Like their predecessor, the Pro and Pro Max have significantly better cameras than the standard iPhones, sporting that additional third lens, which is a telephoto with 3x optical zoom, macro abilities on the ultra wide and higher resolution on the main camera. The two phones have the same cameras. They sport new 48MP main sensors that are 65% larger than their predecessors. That means they let in more light, improving performance in dark conditions. The 12MP ultrawide also gets improved low light performance thanks to a new sensor and more focused pixels. Like the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro, macro mode on the ultrawide lets you take detailed close-ups of anything from food to bugs or plants. The telephoto zoom is also impressive, reaching 6x optical zoom or 15x digital zoom, but that seems short compared to the Galaxy S22 Ultra's max 100x digital zoom. There is good news for pro photographers too. The iPhone 14 Pro can capture big 48MP raw images, allowing a lot of flexibility for clean cropping and post-processing. There is also a ton of AI tools to make it easier to get great shots without having to adjust setting, and night mode is particularly good for low light conditions. If you are torn between which to go for out of the Pro and the Pro Max, it's worth bearing in mind that as well as a larger screen, the Pro Max also offers better battery life. Google has just announced the launch of the Pixel 7 Pro, and that means that right now we are seeing some great deals on its predecessor. The 2021 Pixel 6 Pro, the Pixel 6 Pro was awarded Best Camera Phone of the Year in the Creative Block Awards 2022. It has a big 50MP sensor on its main camera, which takes in a lot of light, as well as a powerful telephoto and ultra-wide camera. Best of all is Google's software, which is what made Pixel phones great camera devices in the first place. The AI scene optimization is fantastic at tweaking pictures. Night sight is fairly good for low light photography, and the Magic Eraser is good at editing out unwanted objects and even people if the shot's clean enough. Although Photoshop does not need to worry too much yet. It can get hot and battery life is poor when compared to the S22 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro Max, although no worse than the iPhone 14 Pro. Sony has been putting out some great cameras, so you would hope for good things from its camera phones, and the 4th generation Xperia 1 does not disappoint. It justifies its place on this list thanks to a few key features designed more for professional photographers than average consumers. The zoom camera on the Xperia 1 4th has a moving lens which facilitates continuous optical zoom between 3.5x and 5.2x, giving the phone a competitive edge for people who like zoom photography. The phone also sports a physical shutter button which can be partially depressed to find focus or fully pressed to take a picture, giving a camera experience that can be useful in certain situations, such as when you want to focus and wait for the perfect moment for the shot. Meanwhile, for the first time on a Sony phone, you can record 4K and 120fps footage on any of the 3 rear cameras and one on the front, which is useful for videographers and bloggers. OnePlus is high-end phone for 2022 2022 offers an impressive trio of rear cameras with the company's partnership with pro camera manufacturer Hasselblad playing off again. The main ultra-wide and telephoto cameras offer a lovely shallow depth in a lot of shots, although some might feel the AI optimization leave the picture a little oversaturated. There are some unique modes available. Expand, inspired by the niche Hasselblad camera of the same name, takes wide panoramas, while 150-degree mode uses the ultra-wide camera to create a fish eye-like effect. Beyond the camera, the OnePlus 10 Pro to be a well-rounded Android phone with a good-looking screen, fast charging, and plenty of processing power. As with all phones, it has a few rough edges, and we found it ran hot when put through intense use. Different smartphone makers focus on different aspects of the camera, so to decide on the best camera phone for you, you need to look at the camera strengths, available modes, and the shooting experience itself. And this was the list of best camera phones to buy. If you like our list, then do like the video and leave a comment. For more interesting videos like this, subscribe to Just Smart Tech.